Hello, I'm Azai. Welcome back to Tokyo Necro. I just came back after a short break, just ate some food, and yeah, that's about it really. Nothing much. Ate some food, made some more tea, and I am back. I'll be recording 2 more episodes today because I haven't been recording Tokyo Necro for the past week. I also need to wash up my bike and re-oil the chain, but that's something I'm gonna be doing later on before bed. So, short recap. Last time we have a meeting with Ryoko and everyone in the Karasuzumi Living Dead Stalker Agency. Can't believe I actually remembered that at the top of my head. After that, Ryoko had sex with Tokitaka. Etika went to the police military HQ. And Son went to see Konsu. And right now, we are probably in Etika's perspective. We were eating some food with Kiri. I don't know why the hell we are in this desolate place. What is this, a gas station? I let out a sneeze. Despite all the advances we've made in medical science, the common cold is still here to stay. Sneezing, burping, coughing, all par for the course, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We sometimes need little things like that to feel alive, you know? I don't know, I don't feel very comfortable having a cold, Etika. Having said that, I'm freezing my non-existent balls off here. The old Odaiba district used to be a busy tourist hotspot back in the day, being home to a large convention center and even a TV station. Oh, I guess someone contacted us about the Vice Governor's corpse. However, building hot pipes at sea proved too costly, so the decision was made to abandon all plans of constructing a residential area in the district. These days, the people you'll find here are not so much resident as thrill seekers. Instead of proper homes, the district houses the Elderly Disposal Zone, a site resembling a twisted amusement park. Special administrative regions found in the old Odaiba area and elsewhere contains facilities designed to dispose of elderly who are deemed incapable of contributing to the economy. Wow. The illegal elderly sent to these facilities are used to test military technology. Citizens may also pay a fee to use them as living targets. What the fuck? A portion of the revenue produced by elderly disposal zones is used to provide healthcare and education for minors. Yo, this is fucked up.
さあさあ寄ってらっしゃい。今日はだいぶ安いよ。20人言って15万円。今なら玉も少しサービスするよ。
Standing near the customer entrance of the electromagnetically fenced-off elderly disposal zone, the touter continues loudly advertising his services with a megaphone in hand. Sometimes after 2050, Japan's warped population pyramid could no longer support society. The pension system collapsed, and the economy saw a period of devastating recession. The government instead instated an immigration policy to combat declining birth rates, but it ended up backfiring, resulting in increased criminal activity in overcrowded prisons. What proved truly disastrous was the large-scale loss of young lives during the Sino-American War. As a result, trying to remedy the issues brought on by an increasingly aging population became the highest priority of the Japanese government. Attempts to address all this while also creating new jobs resulted in the birth of a questionable new business venture: the disposal of the elderly.
すごい今日はよく当たるね
動きが鈍すぎると練習にならないんだけどさ
The very sight of it makes me sick to my stomach. The people here are the illegal elderly who could no longer afford to pay taxes and were forcibly detained by the debt collection department. Anyone over the age of 60 who cannot pay their taxes, disposed of in the elderly disposal zone. Yo, that's actually a fucked up system. In today's society, the older you are, the more you're taxed. For those without savings, this is nothing short of a death sentence. In the elderly disposal zone, regulations on firearms are relaxed. Meaning, people can just buy the illegal elderly and shoot them like they're moving bullseye targets. The illegal elderly are monetized in other ways as well. For example, some premium channels air programs featuring physically enhanced martial artists beating the elderly to death with their bare fists. The revenue earned from these ventures is channeled toward aiding children's healthcare and education. What the fuck? Fuck that. The elderly are forced to die so we can provide a future for the youth. The world's fucked up. It's been fucked up. Which is why it's important to try and build systems that keep society functioning, no matter the cost. At least, you could try to justify it like that. Either way, I feel a chill rush through my body every time I come to this place. Man, screw this cold. Let's get this over with as quickly as possible. I keep walking as the gunshots continue to ring out behind me. The seaside winds carry a distinct chill, making my body shiver even under multiple layers of cold-resistant gear. To my left towers the Fortress, an adult amusement park stocked with an endless variety of sexoroids. I guess the reason why it's foggy is because they don't want to show it yet. You know, to build suspense. To my right, in the distance, I can just barely make out the floating artificial island of the Tokyo Megafloat. Populated by the energy elite, it remains a genuine paradise in this otherwise frozen world. It employs a high-tech security system called the Advanced Age System, preventing all unauthorized entry from the outside. The reason why this game is actually not giving me so much trivia is because I already knew about all this trivia like a couple episodes back. I was saying that this game, was not giving me that much anymore, but I realized that the game is actually retelling what I just said a couple episodes back. Implementing it into the actual story. Even my old man, despite being kind of a big shot at the military police, has only been allowed inside a total of 3 times. Sophia Kawarazaki, CEO of the Empire Energy Corp and the de facto leader of the Megafloat, has come to be treated as an elusive, almost divine figure. She's in a completely different league compared to a certain vice governor, whose naked corpse was found discarded in the cold, freezing water. That's right, I'm standing at the very site where the vice governor's body was discovered. It was Kiri who tipped me off before we parted ways. Oh, I guess she got the info before we contacted her. She told me the body of the guy who we've been searching for was found in the waters of Tokyo Bay.
あ、始まった。
A worker starts using a small crane to lift the body out of the water. Using sturdy wires made from synthetic spider silk, his bulbous flesh, now white and pallid, is slowly pulled out like a haul of fish. A fiber created from the silk produced by microorganisms embedded with genetic information from spiders. Both durable and flexible, 100 times more shock-resistant than steel. A wide variety of usage cases can be twisted into robes or used in fabric. His body itself has yet to begin decomposing. It probably hasn't been that long since he died, even accounting for the freezing temperatures of the water. Gruesome injuries decorate the corpse, evidence of severe physical abuse. Judging by the vice governor's wounds, whoever did this wasn't aiming to kill him as quickly and efficiently as possible. Having said that, there are more effective means of torture if you just want to extract information. His penis, for example, has been burned off at the base. The intention was to minimize the loss of blood. This was done by a person who has an intricate grasp of the line that separates life and death, and finds enjoyment in watching others straddle it. Unlike 100 years ago, Tokyo is now surrounded by nothing but endless wastelands, and we even have bacteria bred for the exclusive purpose of breaking down dead bodies. They could have also turned the vice governor into an obedient hi-fi living dead in order to inflict political damage from the inside. But they didn't attempt any of that, and instead discarded his corpse into the ocean. It just reeks of sloppiness.
おい、お前。
I don't think it's sloppy. I think they're actually smart enough to know that if we, hand over the governor, like, back, we probably would think that he was gonna be a hi-fi living dead. I turn around after being addressed. I notice a well-built military police officer heading my way. As he approaches me, I can feel his nasal breath on my skin. He stinks.
ここを去れ。
ほらよ。
I show him my ID. Living dead stalkers are permitted into crime scenes if the case in question concerns a necromancer. At least, that's how it is on paper.
誰も入れるなとの命令だ。
あ？ちょっと待て。こっちには正当な権利が。
軍警察ではこの事件にネクロマンサーの関与はないと考えている。よってお前たちの介入する余地はない。
あ？おい、ふざけんな。
軍警察に立てつく気か。免許を剥奪してもいいんだぞ。
It's not making sense. Tang Yunshan was the one who kidnapped him. And he was a necromancer.
それとも力ずくで排除されたいか？
へ
He's got balls.
え。いいね、そういうの。力ずくで言うこと聞かせるのって好きだぜ。
後で泣き言言っても。
I deliver a quick, clean strike to his nether region.
あらら、ごめん遊ばせ。
His sprite does look kinda, basic, so he's probably no one important.
軍警察を愚弄する気か！
Still groaning like a baby, the officer draws his gun. What's that? An officer aiming his gun at an innocent citizen? Looks like someone needs an ass kicking.
ちょっと待った。
Huh? Kazuma? Wow, she's everywhere. What a busy little bee.
どけ！渚隊！俺はこの女にコケにされた！
名前を見ただろ。木場野原エチカ。木場野原少将の娘だ。
木場野原少将の？
Hearing my old man's name immediately makes the officer shrink back. Man, come on. See, this is why I can't stand people who bend over for authority.
エチカ、お前もだ。え？私も怒られんの？当然だ。もし怪我させてみろ。お前の免許は剥奪だ。
Well, I guess she's not wrong about that.
ここは私たちの管轄だ。ほら、行け。いや、でもさ。いいから。
Kazuma starts actively pushing me away from the crime scene. Hey now, hands off my boobs. You just might end up turning me on. Wait, what's this?
今すぐこの場を去れ。さもないと木場野原少将に連絡して。はいはい、わかってますよ。
She probably gave us something. I do as Kazuma tells me to.
もう二度と顔を見せるな！
The feeling is mutual, buddy. We don't even know your name. Plus, you stink. Well then, I walk back to my car and attempt to give Ryoko a call. She's still having sex with Tokitaka? Jesus Christ, that girl. I still can't reach her. I'm used to working solo, so I guess it's no big deal. Besides, I can just leave a message. She must have her hands full with something else. In which case, I suppose I'll just go ahead and do it. No big deal, right? Yeah, no big deal. Let's go with that. I pull out a small holographic cube from my cleavage. Kazuma dropped it between my boobs when she was pushing me off the crime scene. She was willing to hand over some info in exchange for me backing off. Maybe I found a message from the culprit along with the vice governor's body. And Kazuma made a copy in secret. Only one way to find out. I link up my holo glasses with the cube in order to have a look at its contents. Wow, that was a fast scene. Oh, that's not actually her dad. That was just that guy. Sophia Kawarazaki sits in her office at the main Empire Energy Corp building, located within the Tokyo Megafloat, reviewing the data Major General Kibanohara Hokuyasu has just sent her via the Metropolitan Assembly. Interesting, we're seeing stuff from her perspective now. She spits, averting her gaze from the display in front of her. Sophia had no love for the man. An avaricious rake without a shred of principles. He was essentially handed the title of vice governor on a silver platter. He gained the support of his peers purely because he was viewed as conveniently incompetent, unable and unwilling to obstruct the existing political machine. It could have very well become an obstacle to Sophia's own plans. But even then, he didn't deserve to be disposed of like this. It's enough to churn one's stomach.
スーサイドワナビズの仕業か。
そのように考えております。
Milgram and his followers have been carrying out acts of terrorism against the Empire Energy Corp for some time now. As advocates of the Grave Crusade, they violently oppose any organization that attempts to breathe new life into Tokyo.
宝行イリアというのは
かつて池袋 CPC で被験体となっていた少女かと。
Test subject. The Ikebukuro CPC. Merely hearing the name of that accursed place makes Sophia wince. In the past, the Empire Energy Corp conducted experiments on great numbers of orphans in the interest of realizing their mass manipulation technology. Huh. I'm surprised that the game is giving me all this info on a silver platter. So the mystery is basically gone from her saying this to me. Technologies developed in secret by the Empire Energy Corp used to control the masses without allowing them to realize that they are being controlled. Which is probably what that other AI is, Subcon. Considered a necessary evil as natural resources continue to dwindle during the Great Ice Age. Sophia Kawarazaki put a stop to all research into mass manipulation technology upon becoming CEO. Orphans housed in the Ikebukuro CPC were used as test subjects to aid in the development of mass manipulation technology. Sophia was appointed CEO of Empire Energy a mere 2 years ago. It was then that she first became aware of the more sordid side of the company.
宝行イリアはどのような成績を
それが記録が残っておりません。おそらくセンター長の来島道也が故意に隠蔽したものかと。
なぜスーサイドワナビズが名指しした
定かではありません。
調べろ
Sophia issued her command in a tone that suffers no argument.
東京リバースプロジェクトの完成は間近だミルグラムに邪魔をさせるわけにはいかん
は
We still have no idea what that project involves. Sophia turns her gaze toward the window. Beyond snow and sea, the dark, ominous outline of the Tokyo cityscape looms in the distance like a sinister necropolis. Its only salvation is the Tokyo Rebirth Project. Failure is not an option. Order and progress must triumph. Mankind must persevere. I don't know about that, girl. It's kind of awesome that they have like that guy in a kabuki outfit on the right side there as a background. But yeah, they definitely changed Sensoji. At least those two statues are still there. The Sensoji is the oldest surviving Buddhist temple in Tokyo. When the Sino-American War devastated the Kanto region, the Kami Narimon, the iconic gate leading to the Sensoji, was also destroyed. Alright, we also already know about this. I think I told you guys, but when I was in Tokyo, when I was in Japan, I stayed in Asakusa a good week or two before I moved over to Shinjuku. Its steel reinforced structure saved the gate from being completely lost, but what did remain of it was a painfully far cry from its original splendor. Some expected it to be demolished, while others advocated for keeping the structure as it was, to remind future generations of the tragedies wrought by the Sino-American War. In the end, Tokyo's governor at the time opted to rebuild it using pipes. Today, it is known as the Cyber Kaminarimon, standing as a symbol of modern Tokyo, the city of pipes.
ジャポニズムだね。ねえねえ、中見せ行かない？
Shut up, Iria.
観光に来たんじゃないぞ。
Having said that, Asakusa does boast an exceptionally low crime rate, so I can afford to relax a bit. When political factions in Tokyo were still scrambling to rebuild order following the war, the Shitamachi network was the first to seize the initiative. Don't think we know what that is yet. Distancing themselves from the inner Yamanote line and its rapid multinationalization, they strove to represent the unity and solidarity of traditional Japan. Ultimately, their principles bore fruit. By running a hot pipeline between the main pipe and the subway, Asakusa managed to secure enough thermal energy to flourish into a district that now houses some of the city's most affluent citizens. Etika used to live around here too, if memory serves. Area notices some augmented rickshaw pullers. Although their augmentation aren't quite as advanced as ours, their running speed is still nothing to scoff at. We also see chair bearers with civilian exoskeletons, as well as a group of bodysuit-wearing samurai employed by a private security firm. What the hell is a chair bearer? Asakusa sought a perfect marriage of the high-tech and the traditional, but ultimately, the results come across as somewhat comedic.
さっさと仕事を終わらせて遊ぼうよ。
そうだな。
Despite the area being a bit of a tourist spot, most of what you'll see is just endless lines of souvenir shops. The Neo-Ryounkaku, which serves as the main building of the Tokyo Metropolitan Assembly, is off limits to civilians, with no sightseeing allowed. The only suitable place for recreation would be the small amusement park nearby. We came to Asakusa in order to follow the trail of Kurushima Michiya. We already know exactly which building and apartment number we're looking for, based on the data we've extracted from Kansu's PC. Kurushima may have been gone for over a year, but we should still be able to find plenty of people around here who might know what happened to him. With that in mind, our next course of action should be...
聞き込みしてみようか。
賛成。一度やってみたかったんだ。
I'm assuming it's a frequently occurring scene in the anime she watches.
よーし、行くぞー。
As lively as ever, Iria starts pulling me by the sleeve of my jacket. Maybe this whole anime thing in her head is also like implanted or something. I take a quick look at my Conry to double check the address, then head off in the direction of Kurushima Michiya's apartment building. 2 hours later. That's a long walk.
そう、どうしたの？
いや、なんていうか、疲れた。
どうして？いいおばあちゃんだったじゃない。
She's not wrong. The elderly woman we tried to interrogate was almost unusually kind toward us. The majority of the people living at Kurushima Michiya's apartment building are dutiful, high-earning taxpayers. Outside visitors are rare, with a state-of-the-art security system keeping the complex locked up tight. It only follows that they'd be positively starving for even the tiniest morsel of juicy gossip. As a result, the two of us ended up having to keep a local old lady and all her friends company for what felt like an eternity. Based on what we've been told, Kurushima kept to himself, being relatively isolated from the rest of the community. At least we don't have to suffer the whole slice-of-life interaction with the old lady. The elderly residents were aware that someone called Kurushima Michiya lived in their apartment building, but chose not to stick their noses into his affairs. Other than that, our conversation with the inhabitants didn't yield any worthwhile information. They went off on tangent after tangent, and before we knew it, 2 whole hours had already passed.
イリアはすごいな。簡単に会話がつながる。
まあね、ああいうのは得意だよ。
In a town like this, where people deceive each other on a daily basis, being able to hold an honest conversation with a stranger is a rare skill. Yet after a mere 2 hours, the old ladies of that apartment building ended up treating Iria like their very own granddaughter. Some of them were in actual tears when it was finally time for us to go, and even tried to give Iria a bit of pocket money before sending her off. Man, they must really be lonely. Iria may very well possess a unique talent for capturing the hearts of all those around her.
そうもうちょっとグイグイ話せばよかったのに。
対外交渉は涼子さんに任せっきりだから。
リビングデッドだったらお手の物なんだけどね。
Right. If those old ladies had been living dead, I would have kicked the door open the moment they've turned the key in the lock. Fired 2 shots as they staggered back, then looked toward the hallway to see if there were any more coming. If there were, I would prioritize re-eliminating them first, then...
そう？
なんでもない。
本当かな。
I sense danger from above. I immediately grab Iria by the arm and pull her into an embrace to protect her. At the same time, I unholster one of my guns and aim it in the direction I sense danger from. A deafening sound like that of a massive body of steel slamming against thick concrete resounds in the air around us. Beyond the crowd of onlookers, I can just barely make out several metallic legs. The pipe runners? Did a pipe runner crash into the ground from above? Mere seconds after I realize what has occurred. My vision is clouded by white smoke. The pipe runner must have collided with a pipe during its fall, releasing a cloud of hot, scalding steam onto the streets. I hurriedly back away from the area while still shielding Iria with my body. My reflexes don't fail me. We managed to put enough distance between ourselves and the crash site to avoid being burned. Countless people who weren't as lucky as us come stumbling out of the steam cloud, with their faces contorted in pain.
そう。
Iria tightens her grip around my waist.
大丈夫。あの距離なら致命傷じゃない。病院に行けば火傷の跡も残らないよ。観光名所にしては被害が少ない。不幸中の幸いだ。
そうなの？
イリア、怪我はないね。
ありがとう、サウン。
それが僕の仕事だ。
仕事じゃなかったら守らなかった？
Iria asks, furrowing her brow. I have to take a moment to think. What if she wasn't my client, but rather a friend? Wait, is she a friend? Nope, she's more like a...
熟考してる。
それよりイリア、服が濡れてる。
Her shirt's become almost completely see-through from all the water it's absorbed. Her drenched clothes are stuck to her body, revealing all her curves and even part of her underwear. She can't stay like this.
ちょうどいい。洋服店がある。
I take a quick look around. Sure enough, I spot a clothing vendor among all the other shops.
そうだね。服買っちゃおう。
The two of us push our way through the crowd of people, with me taking point. The gathered onlookers have grown surprisingly agitated since the pipe runner fell. It doesn't help that this place is a busy tourist spot to begin with. Moving around at a steady pace isn't exactly easy. But right now, even the tumult of the crowd feels distant to me. If it hadn't been my job, would I have protected Iria? I probably would have. But that's not the part that bothers me. If Iria ever regains all her memories, how will that affect our relationship? With no shared goal to connect us, would we suddenly treat each other as complete strangers? Or end up bonding over the unusual circumstances we both had to endure? Would it be better for her not to remember? Or should I just treat this as yet another job and coldly fulfill my obligations? According to Kansu, Iria is showing a particular interest in me. I dismissed it at the time, though. Why is that? Do I fear being loved? Do I not feel worthy of such a thing? Or could it be that... I've lost sight of Iria. How could I have been so careless? I'm a complete failure of a bodyguard. I take a quick look around. The streets are still packed with with people panicking about the hot steam. It would take a considerable amount of effort to try and find Iria in this crowd. I can't exactly retrace my steps either. At least not when I'm surrounded by this many people. Besides, she might have gone off into a side street to get around the crowd. It would only complicate things further if we ended up missing each other. Also, Iria knows which clothing store to come to. I doubt Milgram would be bold enough to attack her in this crowd, so it's probably best if I just wait for her to arrive. Leaving the tumult of the streets behind me, I make my way into the store. Just as I'm about to use my conry to try and contact Iria, I sense someone's presence behind me.
そう、
It's Iria, standing by the entrance with an annoyed look on her face.
私、迷子になったと思ったでしょ。
先に入ってたのか。
知らない。
使い方は。
プールで覚えた。
Iria enters a nearby pod. A lot of clothing shops these days have no clerks at all. Instead, what awaits you in each store is a long row of 3D scanners. They can print whatever clothes you've picked right there on the spot. Man, that's actually pretty cool. People who are actually, you know, too small or too big can actually make use of this. Because when you're like me, like 5'1", and you're super short, it gets quite difficult finding the right size of pants. I guess jeans more like. Pants is easy enough because they're, you know, they're short. But most jeans are actually too long for me. I patiently wait for Iria to finish the scanning and printing process. I look down at my conry. I'm still not getting through to Ryoko. I might as well just send her a mail explaining the situation. Noticing her shadow looming over me, I look up and realize that Iria has already finished changing.
あれ、乾いたのか。
同じ服を出力したの。
せっかくだし、もうちょっと可愛い服にすればいいのに。
そう、この T シャツ可愛いと思わないの？
I take a long, hard look at Iria's chest. Her shirt reads Lightspeed Gerium. Lightspeed? Is that really what it said? I don't see the light speed, but I know that the katakana of that says Gerium too. A mecha anime that became a cultural phenomenon in the year 2032. Gerium's greatest asset is his incredibly fast startup time. He sets upon his opponents before they even have a chance to leave the hangar. Of course, this means that the plotline of each episode is resolved within just a few minutes at most. As such, the next episode previews occupy most of the runtime of a given episode. What the fuck?
思わないな。
本気で言ってる？だってゲリオムすごいんだよ。起動がめちゃくちゃ早いの。
I wonder what it's referencing.
起動ボタンを押したと思ったらすでに起動してるの。びっくりするよ。
いや、本当によくわからない。
はあ。
Iria lets loose what seems like the longest sigh of her entire life. She's clearly disappointed with my answer.
一度見れば考えが変わるかもしれない。
オーケー。それじゃ週末はゲリオム一気見するから覚悟しておくように。
Iria proclaims, pointing a finger at me. It really makes me wonder exactly what kind of anime this Lightspeed Gerium is. Honestly, I can't even begin to imagine. Is her mood better now? Damn, double egg on your ramen. Although we're momentarily tempted by a flashy sign that reads, "Try our green curry udon, a new Asakusa specialty," Iria and I ultimately end up heading to a local Doom Doom burger instead. That didn't look like a burger, man. That was clearly ramen. Green curry with udon. The green color is achieved by utilizing copious amounts of coriander and prickino. I don't know what that is. And I don't think I said that correctly. Currently hyped as the next big thing in Asakusa. The most popular fast food chain in Tokyo. The order processing is entirely automated. You're guaranteed to receive your food within 30 seconds of tapping the screen. Damn, that is fast. We pick a two-seater table and sit down, facing each other.
注文はここ？
Iria asks, glancing around. Accepting orders via touch panel is how the vast majority of these fast food chains operate.
こんな風になって。って早っ！
Yeah, that's way too fast. I mean, we do have touch panels to order food, but even then, we still need to wait, right? And we don't have like a touch panel in every freaking table. Before she can even finish her sentence, the automatic delivery system brings her food to the table. Iria looks surprised, but this is the speed people expect from a restaurant like this.
ねえねえ、食べてもいい？
もちろん。
いただきます。はあ。うん。なかなか。
850 yen for a burger and a combo set. That doesn't seem too bad, actually. Pretty cheap, I'd say. But then again, the burger does look really tiny. The burgers here are made from synthetic meat and tower vegetables grown at vertical farms. Artificial meat combined with chemical condiments and other substances to increase its raw volume. If you're unlucky, it may even contain living dead meat, or so the rumors go. They're really taking a jab at fast food restaurants there. If you eat them while they're still warm, the taste actually isn't half bad. It pales in comparison to Ryoko's homemade cooking, but we're more than used to it at this point. Eri, on the other hand, seems to be eating fast food for the first time.
サブコン。
An image of Tokyo's elusive digital songstress shows up on the touchscreen we used to order our food earlier. She's not hacking into it in real time. It's pre-recorded footage, which allows us to quietly sit there and admire her performance. Fragmented lyrics, accompanied by a melody that sounds cobbled together. Melody. Her music is by no means a flawless, polished work of art. One might even say it feels a touch amateurish, and yet, it's managed to capture the hearts of Tokyo's citizenry. Who could have created her? For what purpose does she sing? And how can she hack into every electronic device in the city? Some say she's the ghost of a digital fairy that was awarded a certificate of residence a good century ago. Others claim she's a form of large-scale propaganda created by the Empire Energy Corp. I would believe the latter. The storm of hearsay and rumors circulating around Subcon only serves to deepen the mystery of her background. Iria listens intently to the song, her gaze fixated on her tone graph.
この歌って、もしか浜辺の風景のことを
Oh, sorry about
歌っ
that.
てるんじゃないかな。
Midnight Shores. The VR program created by Hagio Iria. I strain my ears to try and pick up on the lyrics, but it all sounds entirely too abstract. Like a bunch of words and phrases strewn together at random. To me, it feels more than a little far-fetched to try and connect these lyrics with Iria's VR program.
気のせいじゃないか。
そんなことないよ。私のゴーストが囁いてるもん。確か。
Damn it, sorry, Iria.
まままままままま。
I keep clicking too fast. Iria keeps staring at the rainbow-colored web of data displayed by our Condry.
喉のここまで出かかってるんだけど。
無理をすることはない。僕たちが何とかするから。
It's not like me to offer baseless words of consolation. Can we really figure this out? And will I be able to protect Iria should Milgram attack us again? I recall the events of that day. My CQAMA was no match for his skills. The sheer power of his anti-armor suit, combined with the impeccable movements of his side pistols. I was at his mercy from beginning to end. And that gaze of his. Milgram knew my father. And, call it a hunch, my mother as well.
そう？どうしたの？さっきからぼーっとして。
あ、いや、ちょっと歌に聞き入ってて。
え、あれに？
The screen has been playing something else for a while now. Specifically, a song by Sukiyaki Daisuke, a fully digital enka rapper. A digital enka rapper popular in Tokyo, heavily advertised. Leader of a group of assassins known as the Deconstruction Ninjas, or so his social media accounts would have you believe. He's accompanied by an assortment of background dancer ninjas, all wearing black suits and wielding carbon katana. Sukiyaki Daisuke isn't just a singer. He's also the head of an underground assassin guild called the Deconstruction Ninja, or so his personal lore goes. A mysterious group of assassins led by Sukiyaki Daisuke. According to the guild, the essence of the ninja is ever-changing. As long as one's heart is in the right place, they need no uniform, katana, or even shurikens. Indeed, even someone in a suit can walk the path of the ninja.
あれって変じゃない？
On that point, I certainly agree. Back to Kansu, I see. So, we're going up against the laboratory, which means we'll have to take extra measures to strengthen our security going forward. Being constantly on the defensive isn't really my style, though. Good thing I'm a living dead stalker. My job is to put down necromancers. So we're Ethica again. There's only one problem. How do we track down Milgram and his men? When in doubt, turn to Kansu. Perfectly sound logic, which is why I'm heading towards Snowbound Nirvana. Hell, I might even meet up with So in an area there. I'm not just looking for an excuse to see Sue, okay? And I'm definitely not thinking about giving her a bit of tender lovin'. Really, I'm not. Well, according to the CG, thankfully you're not. Scout's honor.
Cheese! ソーウンたちは来た？おーい！このマゾブタが！あれ？
That's weird. A little verbal abuse usually never fails to snap her back to reality. Sue continues intently staring at her monitors, like I'm not even here. I walk up to her and give her a shoulder tap. It nearly makes her fall off her seat, but I act just in time to catch her.
スーちゃんどうしたの？
エチカ、何か用？
いや、スーちゃん寂しくしてないかなって。
別に大丈夫。
Is she, though? An unfinished pack of noodles sits forgotten on her desk.
ソーウンたちと何かあった？
いや、それは。
Oh, she's getting flustered. Not enough to make her any more talkative, though.
イリアちゃん、可愛かったでしょ？
イリア。宝京イリア。
Sue repeats the name like someone trying to remember a fading dream.
エチカ。イリアは好き。
うん、ソーウンと一緒、ここに来たでしょ？可愛い子だよね、ほんと。ソーウンがいなかったら、私きっとやばかっただろうな。
記憶まだ戻ってないんだよね。
うん、私たちの協力もあって徐々に思い出してはいるみたいだけどね。どうって？
イリアは幸せそう。
もちろん天使みたいだもん。
I answer without a shred of hesitation. I've never seen anyone more full of life.
だったら。
でもね、天使なんだよやっぱり。浮いてるの。どっか飛んでいっちゃいそうなの。ちゃんと捕まえてあげてさ、人間様の幸せを教えてあげたいじゃん。じゃん？
私は
Sue hangs her head low, low enough to completely hide her expression. After chewing it over multiple times in her mind, she finally musters the courage to speak up.
機械が好き。機械になりたいの。
Okay.
スーちゃん、そんなこと思ってたんだ。
Etika is just saying that, so that's how you think. I don't know why the English translation is saying this because I have no idea what that actually means. Explains why she gets along so well with Son. Meanwhile, I'm the sort of gal who wears her heart on her sleeve. That might be a little uncomfortable for her. I should probably think twice about getting too touchy-feely here. Actually, wait just a gosh darn second. I wouldn't be Kibanohara Etika if I didn't put emotions front and center, would I?
スーちゃん、私思うんだけど、機械にだって感情あるかもよ。つくもがみっつってさ、お茶碗だのなんだのも長く大事に使ってると魂が宿るんだってさ。
I personally don't believe that, but if people do think that, they're free to do so. I do believe there is like a culture that believes in, you know, souls dwelling in objects and stuff like that.
それは昔の民間信仰。
とは言い切れないかもよ。コネリンだってさ、これだけずーっと体につけてるんだもん。実は魂宿ってたりして。
I don't think so, Etika, but sure.
ただそれを口に出せないだけで、伝える手段を持ってないだけで、そっちの方が楽しくない？
I don't realize the true weight of my words until I'm finished speaking them. Everything I've just said applies perfectly to the trembling young girl sitting in front of me right now.
だからね。
I put an arm around her shoulders. She's so frail and cold. I gotta warm her up.
無理に閉じ込めなくていいんだよ。
She's trembling like a leaf. I can feel her sobbing.
聞かないよ。言えないんでしょ。誰にだってあるよ、そういうこと。どうしてスーちゃんがずっとここに引きこもって生活してるのかとか、本当はちゃんと喋れるのにわざとどもった口調で喋るようになったのかとか、そういうのは聞かないよ。過去を忘れたい人だってたくさんいるもんね。でももしスーちゃんが自分の過去に押しつぶされそうになって心の準備ができて誰かに聞いてほしいって心の底から思えたなら、その時は私を選んでほしいなって思う。これは本当の気持ちだよ。
チカ、
どういたしまして。
I stand up and walk over to the sink. Sue's fridge is always packed with cold drinks, but I think the occasion calls for something warm. Did she find something about Iria that made her think about her past or something? And she's like being empathical? Is that a word? Towards Iria. We drink our cups of Chinese tea in silence. I love Chinese tea. Looks like Sue's finally managed to calm down a bit. There's still a shadow over her features, though. I think I know just the thing to cheer her up.
スーちゃん、デートしよっか。
え？
私とデートするの嫌？
嫌じゃないけど。
よし、じゃあ行こう、決定！
でももう時間遅いし。
だからほら、急ぐの。
I danced toward the entrance like someone in a musical.
ほら、扉を開けたら外は。
エチカ、
ん？何、スーちゃん。
Sue stands up and faces me.
ありがとう。
She smiles. Amazing. I'm so happy. I've never seen her smile like that.
でも、デートはダメ。
なんで一緒にデートしたら楽しいよ。
エチカは好きな人いるから。
バレてた？
うん、わかる。
そっか。
Bit of a shame, though. There's something different about Sue now that we had our little heart-to-heart. She feels closer somehow. Cuter, too. I could totally fall for her.
でも、もし私を心配してくれるなら。
Hmm? Did I, do something? I feel like we've just gone from sworn lovers to complete strangers in a span of 5 seconds.
お、スーちゃん？
いや、その、ソウンはミルグラムと戦ったって言った。エチカは大丈夫だったの？
それがさ、多分スーサイドワナビーズだと思うんだけど、結構強いハイファイと当たっちゃってさ、ぐさっとやられて気づいたら病院のベッドの上。
I think the police HQ put something on us, didn't they? That's why she can't, talk to us.
大丈夫。ハイファイは時高が蹴りつけたし、軍警察付属病院には臓器のスペアもちゃんとあった。
I'm guessing they're monitoring us right now.
激しい運動はよせって言われてるから、まあエッチしようって感じでもないんだけどさ。
So I'm guessing the fact that we got fucked by Milgram and also the hi-fi means that yeah, Sue is a lot more cautious towards telling us the info. I'm guessing if we didn't get that beat up, we might not be seeing Sue like this right now. Then again, I've never been one to heed my doctor's instructions. Still, it's probably best if I let it go for now. Sue definitely looks like she wants to be left alone.
今日は帰るよ。用事があったらすぐ呼んでね。私いつでも飛んでくるから。
As much as it pains me to leave her, I end up doing just that. I make sure to head toward the exit with slow, deliberate movements. Sue, however, remains silent and doesn't even try to stop me. I feel like that's what's happening right now. It takes longer to finish eating than I anticipated. The conversation with the old ladies must have left me listless. When we step back out into the streets, it's already gotten dark. The Sensoji remains a prime destination for tourists even now. The multitude of twisting hot pipes covering it do little to tarnish the inherent beauty of the lit-up Kaminarimon at night.
ねえねえ、中見さん歩いてもいい？
あんまり時間はないけど。
さーっと見て、さーっと帰るから。
わかったよ。せっかくここまで来たんだしね。
I attempt to call Ryoko to let her know that we'll be running a touch late. That's odd. Okay, this is... Maybe Ryoko is actually not fucking Tokitaka anymore. Maybe Pavlov is actually doing something. in the Karasuzumi agency. I'm still not getting through to her. She did reply to my message though.
ねえねえ、そう早く。
ああ、わかったよ。
What's the reply, Son? I hastily send Ryoko another message and hurry after Iria.
おいしそう。お団子だよお団子。たい焼きの。これはおまんじゅうあげてあるの？なにこれ？ハットアイス。いやさすがにちょっとこれは。
Deep fried manju. Ew. Calm down, Iria. I love both dongos and taiyaki. But yeah, I don't know about deep fried manju. The fuck? Iria skips and hops from store to store with the energy of a kid at Christmas.
さっきハンバーガー食べたばっかりじゃ。
Ice cream there is about maybe 300 calories. Dongo, maybe about 200. Taiyaki, probably about 300. I don't know what the hell that circle thing is. Doriyaki? Maybe that's like 150.
別腹。
Iria proclaims, slapping her stomach as she dances amid the crowd. Then again, I am a bit of a fat ass myself, so I do like my sweets. Seeing her like this really warms my heart. If only this moment could last forever. A warm, syrupy, sweet lie, or the cold, harsh truth. Perhaps it'd be better for Iria never to regain her memories. After a long day, it's finally time to head back to the agency.
あんなに食べて大丈夫か？
晩ご飯の分はちゃんと残してあります。
Understandable, considering Ryoko's culinary skills. I'm plentiful myself, but when I think about Ryoko's homemade dishes, even I start to feel like I could still wolf down another serving or two. I could get used to days like this.
そう。
Iria takes a long, hard look at my face.
まだ元気出ない？あのね、確かにあいつミルグラムだっけ？超強かった。でもね、ソウンはその超強いミルグラムから私を守ってくれたんだよ。
No I did not. No I did not, Iria. She's got it all wrong. Mitsumi is the one who protected us.
そんな顔しないで。病は気から。元気出さなきゃ。
僕はそんなに元気なさそうに見えた。
自覚なかった？
I didn't. In fact, I had absolutely no idea. I'm not asleep, but you can't exactly call this being awake either. I'm kinda just vacantly staring at the ceiling. Whose perspective is this? God, I feel like shit. And it's not going away. Like droplets of ink diffusing in water, this dark, muddy feeling only continues to spread, enveloping my heart. I'm not exactly proud of it, but I am kind of an idiot. Thinking things through isn't exactly my strong suit. I mean, who wants to sit on their ass all day thinking? Not me. Am I really fine with things the way they are now, though? I mean, sure. Why not? I just go with the flow, you know? I always have. Guess this is Etika again. That's been my go-to answer. But really, I've just been running away. I've done all sorts of things to avoid confronting it. Intense training. Dates with cute girls. Intense sex with cute girls. They help me forget. For a time. But things can't go on like this forever.
わかってたよ、そんなの。
A lot has happened since Iria entered our lives. Sone's worries. Ryoko's strange absence. Sue's unusual gloominess. Milgram's attack. Dad being an asshat, although that's hardly anything new. And Kazuma being his every beck and call. As for Kiri, and myself.
エチカ、いるか？
うん、空いてる。
Okay, so Tokitaka's safe.
悪い、起こしたか。
いいや、別に。
Tokitaka hasn't changed much, though. He's still the same old dumbass I know and love.
なんで俺を見て笑うんだよ。
ああ、悪い悪い。
ラビットパンチは修理に出してきた。予備を使ってくれ。
サンキュー、助かるわ。
I can't imagine working without my trusty chainsaw. Fortunately, we keep another one of the exact same type stored away in the armory for cases like this.
それと、涼子さんが呼んでる。
ああ、帰ったの？どこ行ってたんだろ
さあ、俺も出るとは聞いてなかったから、ちょっと心配だったんだけど。
Huh. So not even Tokitaka knew. That's surprising.
イリアとソウンも戻ったし、晩ご飯がてらミーティングだって。
う。了解、すぐ行く。
Yeah, I can't be spending my whole day wasting away like this. Sometimes it's a good day to just think, you know. The rest of the gang is already assembled when I arrive. But what catches my attention is...
おいしそうな匂い。
今日は珍しいスパイスが手に入ったからカレーよ。
やったー、りょうこさんのカレー。
チカ、子供みたい。
Iria doesn't seem to share in my excitement. I mean, sure, maybe I'm overdoing it a little. I'll give her that. But Ryoko's curry is just that good.
イリア、お前、後悔するぞ。
後悔？なんで？
涼子さんのカレーは特製だ。一度食べたらやみつき必至。もう二度と涼子さんのカレーなしでは生きられない体になる。
I mean, curry is good. You guys are exaggerating.
生還率なんとたったの 0.02%。
そんなわけ。
Man, even though I just ate, I'm kinda in the mood for some curry right now. God damn it!
はい、お待ちどうさま。
That does look delicious, damn. Iria makes an audible gulp. Her eyes are positively glued to her plate of curry. Can't exactly blame her though. This isn't just any old curry we're talking about. It's Ryoko's very own recipe, made with expert care and tender love. Legend has it that it's actually the reason Ikatsu married her all those years ago.
さあ、涼子さんのカレーを心して食べるがいい。
なんで偉そうなの？言われなくったって食べるわよ。いただきます。
Iria takes a bite. She is actually saying spicy because, you know, hot can mean that the curry is hot. Ryoko-san made curry hits you like a freight train. But beneath all the heat, it does actually have a very flavorful taste. Its masterful balance of umami and spiciness creates a chemical reaction that produces all sorts of endogenous opioids in the brain. Probably. I love spiciness.
これが大人の味。人を子供とバカにした罰だぞ。どれどれ、いただき。
Huh? What's gotten into everyone? Oh my god, is she actually poisoning our food? I stare at the plate of hot, spicy curry sitting ominously on the table. Looks fine to me. Emphasis on looks. I take a spoonful of curry roe and cautiously bring it to my mouth. Huh. It tastes just fine.
いつものりょうこさんのカレーの味だよね、多分。
I'm glad someone does. I look over at Ryoko. She doesn't seem to be having any problem eating it either.
3対2で私たちの勝ち。
勝ちってなんだよ、勝ちって。そう、こんなことならいつものカレーのスコビル値を測定しておくんだった。
時高、味覚が変わったんじゃないのか。
こんな短期間で変わってたまるか。
妊娠。
バカ言え
What the fuck?
今日は霞が関に行ってきたから帰りにやめほこでスパイスを買ってきたんだけどそれがダメだったのかしら
I thought there actually might be something going on because the music was cutting off. Kasumigasuke is home to a whole bunch of Russian info brokers. They use mesh jammers to block communication devices and prevent information from leaking out, which would explain why I couldn't get through to Ryoko earlier. Iria's agonized moans make her sound like a living dead. Once everyone's finished eating and the dishes are put away, we gather back around the table to discuss everything we've learned today.
副都知事の遺体が発見されたって言うから私は旧お台場地区に向かったの。どうも軍警察はこの事件がリビングデッドと関係ないって主張したいらしくてね。
You guys really shouldn't be drinking coffee this late at night though.
多いんだな。
だよね。で、ごねてカズマからもらったのがこれ。
I hand the holographic cube over to Ryoko.
副都知事の遺体から見つかったみたい。
再生するわね
ああ、イリアちゃんは見ない方が。
見る
あ、でもこの中身。
見る
She's not backing down. I get how she feels though. Well, whatever. I get the feeling she's a bit too swept up in her little whirlwind romance with Sohn to really understand the severity of the situation. Watching this should help get her feet back on the ground, one way or another. I glance at Ryoko and signal for her to play the video file. The footage starts in a filthy room. It looks like it could be any of the ruined buildings that were abandoned following the war. There's plenty of those littering the area outside the Yamanote line. The camera is now showing the vice governor. He's still alive and kicking, for now. So they're showing how they torture the vice governor. But why? Even this guy though has a sprite. That's so cool, this game.
それだけじゃない。俺には帝国エネルギー社とのコネクションだってあるんだ。お前らも名前くらいは聞いたことがあるだろう。サットだ。帝国エネルギー社施設の特殊部隊。
The short form name for the Empire Energy Corp's Special Activities Division. An elite force composed primarily of energy elites, designed to handle situations that living dead stalkers and the military police are incapable of dealing with. Headed by Yamanuma Kagekatsu. The other person in the room is using a voice changer to mask his identity. I can hear the sound of a portable tray being pulled closer off camera. The Vice Governor makes a desperate attempt to free himself from his restraints to no avail. The chair he's in doesn't budge an inch. The mystery man's left hand grabs the Vice Governor by the throat. His thick fingers coil firmly around the Vice Governor's neck, reaching all the way up to his ears while applying pressure to his Adam's apple. In his right hand is a needle. About 20 centimeters in length, it's extremely thin and hard. I wouldn't call that thin. I mean, the tip is very thin, but I think that's quite thick in the middle there, and up to the end. There's a holographic cube attached to its tip. He pushes the needle into the Vice Governor's skull through his temple. It penetrates penetrates his cranium and slowly forces its way into the depths of his brain. You okay, Vice Governor? I forgot what that actually controls. Without bothering to wait for an answer, the man pushes a second and third needle into the Vice Governor's head. The Vice Governor convulses as each new needle pierces his skull. The man's work continues for several minutes. Every single needle has been neatly inserted into the Vice Governor's skull, making him look almost like a live pincushion. As the rainbow-hued lights pulse in unison, a large three-dimensional image shows up on the holoscreen. The man pulls out a beautifully curved knife. As he grips the hilt, the blade begins to silently light up, illuminating the dark room. It's what is known as a thermokarambit. Meant for use against armored opponents, constructed from a blend of tungsten and ceramics, blade is heated using an internal fuel cell. Heat from the blade cauterizes wounds instantly, making it impossible to bloodlessly dissect a living human. Making it possible, okay. So it instantly stops the bleeding, huh? Because it burns so hot. Offering no answer, the man grabs the Vice Governor's hand. He draws the blade closer to his palm, an area of the body that remains soft regardless of how muscular a person is. That's true. The man removes his karambit knife from the Vice Governor's palm. The wound has mostly been cauterized. The blade itself mustn't be hot enough to burn flesh. The intention is to not let him die from blood loss. This time, the man buries his thermokarambit in the Vice Governor's arm. He makes a long vertical cuts along his muscles. Not much blood is spilt though. The thermokarambit continues to tear through the vice governor's flesh. Agonized screams spilling forth from his lips with every new wound. He's probably no longer in any condition to hear what the man is saying. Interesting. I guess sex does play a role in this game's story. Humans are instinctively repulsed by the idea of having sex with a corpse. Certain perverts harboring aberrant desires do exist as an exception to the rule, but for most people, the very thought of necrophilia is beyond revolting. True? Never heard of it, actually. To the vice governor, the time spent in that room must have felt like an eternity. He's bleeding from his eyes and mouth. His ears have been sliced off, and his body is clearly at its absolute limit. His approaching death and the immense amount of pain he's been subjected to will have dulled his response to fear. What is 21 grams then? Is it... It can't be their brain. The brain is actually pretty hefty, you know? Can't be that light. Yeah, this is for sure fiction. The vice governor seems to have understood what the man has in store for him, and so he sheds his final tears. The man buries his seething hot knife in the vice governor's heart. Immediately afterwards, the three-dimensional image of his brain lights up like a Christmas tree. It's as they say, a flame burns brightest right before it goes out. Soon enough, the phenomenon ends, and the image goes dark. The vice governor has died. And yet, the man continues his monologue. This is for us, the one who's, you know, being given this holographic cube. He's not talking to the vice governor, though. But why? Iria is trying her very best to remain expressionless. But a quick glance is enough for me to notice how her shoulders are trembling. If anything, it would have been strange if she had simply shrugged off the fact that some weirdo just threatened her. Someone places a hand on Iria's shoulder to try and console her. Nice, he's learning.
つまり このホログラフィックメモリは俺たちに見せるために録画されたってことか？
多分ね。
It still doesn't explain why the vice governor had to be killed, though. Maybe just to provoke us. Sick fucks.
でもこれでタンユンシャンをはじめスーサイド・ワナミズたちの狙いがイリアだってことは確実になった。攻撃は最大の防御だ。ミルグラムたちには借りもある。奴らを直接叩きましょう、涼子さん。
そうしたいのは山々だけれど、ミルグラムの居場所がつかめないわ。今日もその件で上野にまで出かけたんだけれどね。コンスーちゃんに頼まないとダメかしら。
ああ、そうなんだけどね。
I recall what happened at Snowbound Nirvana.
スーちゃんどうも最近調子悪いみたいよ。
彼女は何かを知ってる。これが証拠。
Iria uses her conry to bring up a new image. It shows Kuroshima Michiya, expert in the field of cognitive ethology, neuroscience, and various other brain sciences. He worked at the University of Tokyo's very own Busujima laboratory, and was widely considered a prodigy at the time. His most notable work is an essay titled The New Generation Influencer Hypothesis. It supposedly outlines research pertaining to people with a particularly high influence on society, although the vast majority of the original text has since been lost, leaving us with nothing but a mere synopsis. I think I read the same exact thing on the trivia. Was it last episode? Kuroshima's last recorded place of residence was an apartment building located in Asakusa. That's the extent of our current knowledge.
これをどこで？普通のネットじゃ見つからなかったと思うんだけど。
コンスーの PC に記憶されてた。多分ハイウェイで集めたんだと思う。
I see. Sue's definitely been acting strange, and this would explain at least some of that, but... Huh. I stare at the display. There's something I'm missing, but I'm not quite sure what. Do you know who that is? Ethica? Something doesn't quite add up.
コンスーには何か考えがあるんだと思う。あるいは僕たちに情報を出せない事情。
どうか。
その住所、浅草まで行って聞き込みしたんだけどね。収穫はゼロ。人との関係を絶ってひっそり暮らしてたんだって。挙句1年前の6月に失踪。その先のことは誰も知らない。
じゃあそっちも手詰まりか。
諦めるのは早いわ。仮にネット上の情報は消せたとしても、人間の生きた記憶を消すのは難しい。
確かにそうだ。例えば旧独島研究室を当たれば。
ブス島。
Why is everyone shocked? Is it because someone made a mistake?
何？なんでそんな顔で私を見る？てか、私がブス島って読めたら変って言いたいのか？そんなに漢字に弱いように見える？
Oh!
見える。
Oh, because the kanji.
時たか殺す！
The nerve of this fucking guy. But, wait a sec. Why do I know that the name is Busujima? Just going on to kanji, Dokujima would be the first reading that comes to mind. I feel like I must have heard it from Kiri at one point. I think it might have been...
あ、ごめん、ちょっと席外す。
あら、どうかしたの？
ちょっと確かめたいことがあって。
はい、もしもし。
もしもし、キリねえ。まだ夜勤前、時間ある？
今本部だけど、少しなら大丈夫。
私、ブス島って読み方、キリねえに教えてもらったんだよね。
急に何の話？
I can tell she's caught off guard by my question.
ほら、アルバム整理してた時、私、毒島って読み間違えて、すごく笑われたもん。
ああ、母さんの研究室ね。
あの写真ってある？
撮 確かアルバムにちょっと待って。
Kiri starts looking it up. Photo albums used to be physical books where people kept pictures developed from film, or so I hear. These days, only eccentrics would bother printing them out on actual paper. Kiri sends over a photo taken from her online album.
この集合写真かな。
ビンゴ。
I immediately check the file and... Oh,
キリネ、このデータなんか変じゃない？
ああ、それね、元データはパピルスで郵送されてきたの。だからそのファイルはデータの写し。
I have a sudden flash of inspiration. A good sign, seeing how my intuition rarely ever betrays me.
ちなみにさ、元のパピルスって。
ちょっと待ってね。確かここのバインダに。あった。
That's my Kiri, always keeping things neat and organized.
もしかして欲しい？
欲しい。
今すぐだよね。パイプキャリアで送ったわ。
A courier model pipe runner, capable of quickly delivering small packages to anywhere in the city. Automatic delivery trucks only run on the main roads, so pipe carriers are a more efficient method of delivering packages to individual households.
ありがとう。キリネ愛してる。
Kiri could tell I needed this urgently just from the tone of my voice. She reads me like an open book. She probably wants to know why I brought this up out of the blue. I'll tell her later when it's just the two of us.
それじゃ、夜勤気をつけて。ぼーっとしてパイプランナーから落っこちないようにね。
もう私は子供じゃないんだよ。エチカちゃんも危ないことはしちゃダメだよ。
それはどうかな。ま、せいぜい死なないように気をつけるよ。それじゃ、頑張ってね。
おやすみなさい。
By the time I hang up and start heading back toward the others, the delivery's already been completed. We may both be in the Shinjuku area, but still, those pipe carriers they've got at the military police sure get things done fast. I entered the living room with papyrus in hand.
新しい手がかりゲット。
手がかり？
これこれ。
I present the photo. It shows 3 rows of people in white coats standing in front of a prefab building with a sign attached that reads Busujima Lab. Every person in the photo is wearing a name tag. Aso Yukari sits on the left side of the group. I can definitely tell she's related to Kiri. The resemblance is uncanny. I don't think I know which one she is. Maybe the leftmost side one? Is that her? I don't know. Doesn't really look like her. However, my attention is instead drawn to the person next to her. Ah, okay, the middle one. It's a middle-aged man standing awfully close to Yukari.
来島道也。どうしてこの写真を？
キリネにお母さんのゆかりさんのアルバムを見せてもらったんだけど、そこで私がブス島を毒島って読んだのよ。
大した偶然だな。
When the flames of the Sino-American War engulfed the capital, the University of Tokyo was taken over by the Self-Defense Army. The occupied university was made to focus its efforts on military research alongside the US Army. That it housed a number of gifted students is hardly anything to be surprised by. However, the fact that Kuroshima belonged to the exact same research team as Kiri's mom feels like more than just sheer coincidence.
りょうこさん、このパピルス調べてもらえる？
もちろんいいけど。
A quick multi-flick to check the image and... Yup, there it is.
あら、このファイル、電子透かしが入ってるわ。記録容量もおかしいし。
やっぱりね。
They could have easily just sent this picture as raw data. Meaning, there must have been a very good reason why they went out of their way to have it on papyrus. Such as preventing it from being duplicated. Papyrus are outfitted with powerful decryption capabilities. It's why they're used for IDs and notarized documents.
偽装してあるわね。 何かデータが埋め込んである。
中身は？
パスワードが必要みたい。エチカちゃん、このファイルが送られてきたのってこの日付で間違いない？
June of last year. Wait a second. That's also when Kuroshima Michiya went missing from his apartment in Asakusa. Could this be?
どうしたイリア？
Someone's voice disrupts my thoughts. Iria lifts her hands, and I can see that they're trembling. At her fingertips, a mesh-like network of data shimmers in the colors of the rainbow.
知ってる。私知ってる。
大丈夫か？無理しなくても。
この人。
She's pointing at Asu Yukari. In other words, Kiri's mom, who bears a striking resemblance to her daughter.
私この人知ってる。